Hello, raw spirituality people, fans, whatever you want to call yourselves. You know how YouTubers always have a name for their fans? I don't know what to call you guys. Yeah, so this video is going to be very improvised. I haven't planned it at all. So I've just kind of hit record and see what comes out. But in today's topic, I want to talk about existential crisis. Existentialism, I suppose. I just got back from Southeast Asia, which was such an epic trip. Oh my god, the best decision I made. So I went to Thailand 3 weeks, spent time by myself, meditating, focusing on Buddhism culture, did like a 2-day silent meditation retreat, ate a lot of fruit, very clean. I went on like a full-on vegan diet. I went to Chiang Mai, right, where it's like a mountain town. I don't see oceans anywhere, so I'm like, where's the seafood coming from? I just don't trust it. So I was like, I might as well take advantage and just go completely animal product free. And it was really cool, actually. It was tough because for those who know, I had a very grueling existential crisis, which was triggered by a psychedelic experience, and it was like one of those things where it's like you peek under the curtain of reality and just realize it's all meaningless. None of this matters. There is no self, so everything that you think is you is an illusion and nothing else matters, but there's so much suffering and despair and fuck and evil in this world, and it's like, how can you justify it for this to happen in this reality? And it just hit me all at once, and I just wasn't mentally and emotionally equipped to handle that truth, I suppose. And I guess I just went too far and wasn't integrating as much as I should from my previous psychedelic experiences. So this one was just so much, I was suffering from depersonalization and derealization, and just kind of floating about with a lot of despair, anxiety, terror from death. I would be very emotional. I couldn't go out in public very long because every single person that I'd see, it's like I would just be absorbed in their life, but particularly their pain and suffering, right? And this goes back to Buddhism, right? And the first noble truth, which is dukkha, right? Which a lot of people say that it translates to suffering, but that's not completely accurate. But it's more the transience and the impermanence of life, right? Nothing lasts and everything passes, right? The good and the bad. And I was just acutely aware of all that everyone's going to die. And the thing that I still struggle with right now, because I'm not 100% over this, but I've dramatically improved, right? And I have a lot more cognitive tools to be able to deal and manage with these existential waves, which have been coming in a lot less intense and a lot less frequent, okay? I'll continue about this existentialism just in a bit, but anyways, I was in the midst of that, right? 5 months I was suffering from this shit. Whew, tough stuff, right? And then I went to Thailand, and the first few days was so brutal because, again, the thing that I was struggling with most was dealing with the fact that everyone that I know and love is going to die, right? Especially my girlfriend. That one hurt so much. Every time I'd be with her, I just, like, man, most of the days I would bawl crying, be so emotional, and I was even to the point where I was like beyond suicide, and what I mean by this is like, just because of everything that I know, how could I kill myself if I'm aware of the fact that there is no self and it's all a loop, you know what I mean? Like, if I kill myself, I'm just gonna live through this an infinite amount of times, again and again and again and again and again and again. And that's part of the reason why it made me so desperate and empty and hopeless, was the fact that I felt like this is all just an infinite loop and there's no escape. This is how I'm feeling at the time, but also remember that there are infinite amount of paradoxes, and what I think of now is like, cycles are made to be broken, okay? So maybe there is a way out of this, like, what do they call it? Samsara in Buddhism, which is the cycle of life. So anyways, I was dealing with all this bombshell, and every single day these waves would hit, and I'd be smoking weed every single day just to deal with it. And I went to Thailand, and I remember sitting at the airport of Kuala Lumpur, And because like, being in an airport, man, that's like in the belly of the beast of this matrix system, right? And it's really intense. And that's when it hit me almost the hardest. And I was just fucking just crying, so hopeless, and just didn't want to be here. And I just felt like this was a sick joke. And I was just, the walls were caving in. I just didn't know what to do. I was getting desperate and anxious and super depressed. And I would go to Thailand, and the first few days was just, it just hit me hard, right? And just because I stopped smoking weed, I stopped being around my friends, I was away from home, I was away from my girlfriend, it was just me, right? So it's like, there's no way to escape now, boy. You're gonna have to deal with this now. So anyways, the first few days was just fucking brutal and just, it sucked. It fucking sucked. And all the meanwhile I was spending all my money on therapy and coaching and I don't have a whole bunch of, I don't make a whole bunch of money through YouTube, but when I get to that I never put a price on my health, alright? So no matter how broke I am or how much I'm struggling financially, I will never put a price on my health. And if I think it's going to help me, then I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. I'll find a way. So anyways, this thing hit me. I got sick the second day, like a massive flu, throwing up all night, toothache, having nightmares of like my teeth falling out, which is like my biggest nightmare ever since I was a kid. It doesn't happen too often, but it does. It is a reoccurring nightmare every once in a while, and that was terrifying. I had sleep paralysis, and dude, I was a fucking mess. I was an absolute mess. And by myself on top of this, right, in a foreign country, but I knew this was good for me in the end. So after a few days, the wave started to pass, especially with the therapy and the coaching, just giving me more tools to be able to manage this. Meditation, reading about Buddhism, eating really healthy and clean. I went to Pai, took a motorbike, just riding around the mountains, checking out caves, nature, and just like really being by myself and being mindful, I think is very important. So then I went to Cambodia to meet up with a really good friend of mine, Felipe, and that's when things started to actually get a lot better, because like Thailand was all about being by myself, self-inquiring, meditation, Buddhism, blah 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 blah, and it's not the funnest thing to do, but it was a great thing healing-wise for me, right? This was more about having fun, finding joy, because the joy got sucked out of my life ever since I got back from Canada. This is since April. Like, do you know how much that sucks? Like not being able to enjoy the things that usually, give you happiness, right? It sucks. And especially when you're so acutely aware of like, oh, it's all bullshit, doesn't matter, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, fuck. So yeah, again, very, very, very dark place. To the point where I was even considering deleting my main channel, and like just dropping psychedelics completely. But anyways, I went to Cambodia. Yeah, I went to a beach resort, which was amazing. I was like volunteering there, and Felipe is like awesome. Like he's so on my page, but he's so positive and fun going, and just the type of person that is really good for me to hang out with, especially after going through all that kind of stuff. So man. I'm not gonna get into it here, but there's so many cool stories, man. Like we went to a Cambodian like bush doof in the middle of nowhere, and just people partying, and had so many great stories. After that, we went back to town, went to like a happy pizza joint, and happy means weed in Pai. And it was the first time in a while since I smoked weed. I'm like, oh, of all the places, I think this is a good time. Why not? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, can I get a happy pizza without the pizza? Thanks, man. Gets a big bag. Yeah, anyways, after that went to Vietnam, Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, which is amazing. I'm not a city person, but out of all the cities, this was fucking amazing. Then we went up north, did like a 3-day motorbike loop, had amazing adventures, met so many cool people, and just really bizarre, crazy stories, which I might make videos in the future. I don't know whether on this channel or my main channel, but I think there are some stories worth telling. So anyways, I'm back. I know this is a video supposed to be about my existentialism, but I started talking about my trip a little bit. I guess this is the part where I tell you guys how to deal and overcome with this, because this is something that's like I've noticed more and more people are dealing with every single day. But anyways, I guess the reason why I tell you this story and even my trip and all that kind of stuff is just to give you guys a bit of context and how I dealt with it. It's because the number one thing I think which helped me a lot is having the time and space by yourself. Because I know going through an existential crisis, you feel really lonely, you want to be with people and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes that might not be a great thing, at least at the start. But then I don't know, it could be a good thing for other people, but I think I was over-attached and over-dependent on being with other people so I can feel happy and okay. Whereas every time I was by myself, all that despair would come in. I just, yeah, you know, and all these negative thoughts would have come in, and like, you know, losing faith in humanity and all this kind of stuff. But I think it's really important to have time and space to yourself and self-inquire, respect yourself and your healing process, because some people would call this the dark night of the soul, and some people would say that this is your soul speaking to you and it's going through a process of self-inquiry and healing, and then you always come back the other side of it much stronger. And this can be true, but I think it's very important to just find joy. It's like what Joseph Campbell talks about, follow your bliss. When you're in that really dark space, it's good to find the light, right? Because that can, even if you look at like scientifically, like you look at darkness and you look at light, you can't overpower a light with darkness, right? No matter, like if I put a candle in the middle of a dark room, it is going to illuminate the whole room. And that's the same concept with life, which the light could be a metaphor for love. Once you're feeling that bliss, that love, that peace, no matter how much darkness comes your way, it can't touch you. So it can be very useful in focusing on that. And I know it just goes, it's so cliche and hippie, like love, but love is the answer. It's all about love, unconditional love. That's what some people would call enlightenment, right? But it's not as simple as just thinking happy thoughts either, because sometimes it's necessary to go into the darkness so you can extract the wisdom. That's the whole point of going through these existential crises, is going deep within yourself, deep within your shadow self, and extracting the wisdom and growing from it, and then using that to help others, right? Because once you've gone through the darkness yourself, you can hold a torch and help lead and guide others. And it's like, hey guys, it's all going to be okay. You just got to come this way, you just got to get past this bullshit. And the darkness is such a trickster in the way that it's always lying to you, and it can feel like it's going to last forever. And that is a thought that is fucking terrifying, and I've been there many times. And again, it goes back to the first noble truth in Buddhism. Life is transient. It's impermanent. Everything passes. So no matter how dark of a place that you get and you think it's going to last forever and blah blah blah, just remember that this too shall pass, no matter what. And sometimes time is all we need, like time and space, like just giving yourself the respect and the space to be able to heal yourself and do what you need to do. And like, for example, like traveling really helped me, and it wasn't even traveling per se, it was again more having the time and space to be by myself. Like if I had more money, I would have just rented a place in Australia somewhere, but you know, Asia was much cheaper, especially with feeding myself. But traveling can help a lot, and I look at traveling almost like a physical psychedelic experience where you step outside your comfort zone, you go into this new world, new culture, new language, where you learn all these lessons and connections, and you meet people and you have all these revelations. And it's like, traveling is so good. Like I couldn't recommend it more, especially if you haven't done it. And I guess another thing which I haven't really been talking about in this video is getting therapy, coaching, or just someone to help you get through your process, especially someone who, like a practitioner who knows what they're doing. And even better if they've gone through what you've gone through, because then it gives you hope, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this guy's gone through what I've gone through. And sometimes all you need is hope to push you forward, because if you have hopelessness, then it's like, and you just give up, and there's like, what's the point of all of this? And that was a place where I was at for many, many months, and it still hits me again from time to time. But I'm getting better, and I have more faith every day. And I'm doing the things that I love to do, and I'm purposely focusing on following my bliss and do things that just to bring more love and light into my life, I think is so important. You know, raising your vibration, all that hippie crap. Man, I left like this amazing tropical weather to this. It's raining and it's cold. I'm like, fuck, this is like the first time I've worn a jumper in so long. Like I said, like because this video isn't structured, and I've literally just been blah 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 blah. And one of the reasons is because, well, I haven't uploaded a video in over a week. You know, I just need to make some content, but I'm just settling. I'm settling in. Just getting shit together. I got a lot of work, especially for my main channel, because I've been neglecting that. And yeah, got a lot of things to do. But if you guys want to support me in what I'm doing, check out Patreon, or or there's even a one-time donation thing you can do via PayPal if you just want to help me. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the video, but my MacBook screen broke, and it was like the second day after I arrived, and I was like, really? After traveling, after this, after I've drained my bank account, that has to happen? And an Apple MacBook Pro, like, fuck. Anyways, it's all good. I just gotta do what I gotta do. If you guys want help in any way, shape or form, even if it's a one-time donation through PayPal, every dollar helps. It really does, especially now. Or if you want to support me on Patreon, check it out. If not, it's all good. Again, I'm just putting it out there. If you guys want to help, it doesn't hurt to ask. I've learned. I hate asking, especially when I'm like this first world privileged white male who's like has a YouTube channel, loves the porn. I have like so many things that I'm so grateful for, and here I am asking you guys, can I have some money? I'm fucking but but at the same time, having the funds to do this full time will allow me to put more time and effort and love into not only this channel but my main channel and podcasting, and it will allow me to do a lot more things. I can help more people. But anyways guys, so weekly upload schedule will go as normal. I got a lot of cool stuff. I got a few of you guys requesting me to do a Carl Jung video, which is really cool, so I always wanted to do that, but the fact that you guys want me to do it makes me more excited. And I want to make videos about Buddhism and the Four Noble Truths and so many things actually. I don't even know why I'm even saying I want to do this and this and this, because one of the reasons why I chose this name, like Raw Spirituality, because spirituality is so ambiguous and open-ended that I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's really cool, but just in my style. Anyways guys, if you like this video, give a like, comment below. If you want to support me, go check out the description box. There's a bunch of links. And don't worry, I'll be doing more structured videos in the future, but every once in a while I'd like to just put on the camera and just rant for a while, free associate, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, alright Tom, you've been trying to say goodbye for ages now, just fuck off now. Alright, see you in the next video. Peace.